The path to greatness begins not in the observation of others, but in the mastery of self. A man may watch the world all day, observe trends, monitor the success of others, admire or envy what others achieve. But unless he turns his gaze inward, nothing within him will change. Progress, true progress, is born out of self-examination, self-discipline, and the deliberate effort to improve from within. The man who becomes obsessed with others wastes the very energy required to elevate his own life. Self-mastery is not a luxury, it is a requirement. It is the cornerstone of all achievement. Without it, talent is squandered, ideas are abandoned, and time is wasted. To master oneself is to take full responsibility for one's thoughts, actions, emotions, and choices. It means becoming aware of one's weaknesses and deliberately turning them into strengths. It means forging habits that align with success, regardless of what the world is doing. The men who rise highest are not those who followed others, but those who ruled themselves with precision and purpose. There is immense power in redirecting attention from the external to the internal. When a man chooses to focus on developing his own mindset, strengthening his resolve, and clarifying his vision, he steps onto a different path. One that few walk, but many envy. Most people drift through life reacting to what others are doing, measuring their worth by someone else's journey. They forget that the only person they truly have the power to change, improve, and elevate is themselves. It is not the circumstances outside that determine success, but the condition within. A man may live in poverty, may face setbacks, may be underestimated by the world. But if he has mastered his inner world, he possesses the one ingredient required for greatness. When he can discipline his thoughts, control his emotions, and direct his actions with intention, there is nothing he cannot achieve. The world bends to the will of a man who has mastered himself. The habit of looking outward must be broken. It is a distraction, a detour from the work that actually matters. The work begins with oneself. With examining daily routines, questioning limiting beliefs, setting clear goals, and taking relentless action toward them. The discipline to build, to create, to improve, to sharpen the mind and strengthen the will. This is the mark of a man on the path to greatness. And only when that path is walked with consistency and purpose does true transformation begin. Comparison is a silent destroyer of clarity. It creeps in unnoticed, slowly shifting a man's focus from his own mission to the progress, possessions, or positions of others. What begins as innocent observation quickly becomes a habit of measurement. Measuring worth by what someone else has, what someone else does, or how fast someone else moves. But no two lives are the same, no two paths identical. The man who allows comparison to take root loses sight of his own unique journey. Every individual carries a different set of strengths, challenges, and timing. To compare one's path to another's is to compare entirely different stories. It creates confusion, breeds frustration, and delays progress. A man may be on the verge of his greatest breakthrough, but abandon his pursuit because someone else appears to be ahead. What he fails to see is that he is running a race meant only for him. His timeline is his own. The lessons he must learn, the obstacles he must face, and the triumphs he is meant to achieve are all tailor-made for his journey. When the mind is preoccupied with others, it cannot fully hear the voice within. That voice, the one that whispers direction, purpose, and clarity, becomes drowned out by the noise of comparison. Decisions become clouded, actions become reactive, and confidence begins to fade. The only way to restore that inner clarity is to turn away from the distractions and look within. There lies the truth. There lies the mission. There lies the strength to move forward without apology or hesitation. Focusing inward is not about arrogance or isolation. It is about alignment. It is about understanding what truly matters, what ignites passion, and what defines personal success. It's the act of asking the right questions. What do I want to build? What am I called to do? What steps must I take today to become the man I was created to be? These questions cannot be answered by watching someone else's story. They can only be answered by going within. Every moment spent comparing is a moment stolen from growth. Progress demands focus, and focus demands silence from the outside world. The man who desires to lead a meaningful, powerful life must cut the cord that ties his attention to others. He must trust his pace, respect his process, and stay faithful to his path. Only then can he walk with the clarity and confidence required to achieve his highest potential. The direction of a man's focus determines the quality of his results. When attention is turned outward toward the lives, choices, and achievements of others, it opens the door to distraction, envy, and a fractured sense of identity. External focus may provide momentary stimulation, but it drains the energy needed to build anything of lasting value. True excellence cannot be born in a mind scattered by comparisons. It is only forged in the fire of concentrated internal effort. Envy is a symptom of misplaced attention. It arises when a man sees another's progress and believes it diminishes his own. It poisons the mind, not because others are ahead, but because the mind has been trained to measure worth externally. But excellence is not about where others are. It is about whether one is moving forward with integrity, intention, and intensity. Excellence is an inward pursuit. It grows in silence, in the quiet commitment to refine one's craft, to rise above one's former self, and to execute every task with unwavering purpose. When a man focuses inward, he enters a space of clarity and control. He begins to realize that he has full authority over his thoughts, his decisions, and his actions. The distractions that once pulled at him begin to fade. What others do becomes irrelevant. The only competition that remains is with the man he was yesterday. And in that place of internal focus, he finds power. He finds discipline. He finds the drive to push forward, not for applause, but for mastery. The pursuit of excellence demands solitude of mind. It requires shutting out the noise, resisting the urge to watch others, and redirecting every ounce of attention toward personal growth. It demands a level of humility to accept where one is, and a level of hunger to never stay there. It is not born from public attention, but from private consistency, the unseen work, the early mornings, the long nights, the refusal to settle. Excellence is not an act, it is a state of being. It's in the way a man carries himself, how he speaks, how he approaches challenges, and how he honors his commitments. It's not about outperforming others. It's about outperforming previous versions of oneself. It's about setting a standard that's personal, sacred, and non-negotiable. When the focus shifts from others to self, from envy to elevation, from competition to contribution, everything changes. The external world becomes quiet, and the internal world becomes sharp, strong, and unstoppable. Success is not a matter of competing with the world. It is a matter of mastering the art of consistent focus. The man who divides his attention between his own journey and the distractions of the world around him will never achieve the highest levels of success. True success demands an unwavering commitment to one's own path, free from the noise and judgment of others. When the focus is solely on one's own growth, goals, and progress, distractions fade into the background and a laser-sharp clarity emerges. The external world, with all its achievements, failures, and opinions, will always try to pull your attention away from your own mission. But allowing that external noise to dictate your path only leads to confusion, inconsistency, and scattered effort. A mind that constantly looks outward cannot fully embrace the strength, resilience, and determination required for greatness. The man who keeps his eyes fixed on his own work, on his own growth, and on his own potential can move forward with unwavering confidence, knowing that he is on the right path. The work to achieve greatness is solitary in nature. It demands deep focus and an internal drive that is not swayed by the opinions or actions of others. The true measure of success is not what others think of you, but what you think of yourself when you look in the mirror. Success is about mastering your own craft, developing your own set of principles, and staying true to the commitments you make to yourself. This requires immense self-discipline and an ability to ignore distractions, to shut out the external voices, and to believe in the power of your own vision. As you align your focus inward, you begin to discover your own potential. The more energy you invest in your personal growth, the more that potential expands. It is only by devoting your attention to your own journey that you unlock the skills, talents, and abilities that lie dormant within. Success is not found by looking to others. It is found in the quiet, consistent work of mastering yourself and your craft. When you are focused on improving yourself, you will notice that external factors like comparison and judgment lose their grip on you. The fear of failure, the pressure of competition, and the temptation to measure your worth by others all dissolve, leaving only the clear path forward. The true secret to success lies in eliminating all distractions and directing all your energy into building your own legacy. When you do this, you create a life that is meaningful, fulfilling, and fully under your control. There is no greater power than the ability to direct your thoughts and actions without interference from the external world. By focusing on yourself and your journey, you align your purpose with your actions, and this alignment will take you further than any external pursuit ever could. The power to shape your life lies in your ability to focus on yourself, not others. In a world filled with constant distractions, comparisons, and external pressures, it is easy to lose sight of the one thing that truly matters: your own growth. Every moment spent looking outward is a moment stolen from your own potential. The energy that could be used to build, create, and achieve is instead diverted to irrelevant comparisons, judgments, and the opinions of others. The man who understands this truth, who learns to focus solely on his own journey, becomes unstoppable. When you shift your focus inward, you take control of your mind, your emotions, and your actions. No longer will you be swayed by the successes or failures of those around you. Instead, you will chart your own course, move at your own pace, and define success on your terms. This internal focus creates clarity. It gives you a clear vision of what you want to achieve and provides the discipline and determination necessary to see it through. The distractions of the world, whether they come in the form of envy, competition, or comparison, are all designed to divert you from your true purpose. But they only have power if you allow them to. The man who stays focused on his own progress, his only competition is the person he was yesterday. And with each passing day, he becomes a better, more determined version of himself. It is not about what others have or where others are in their journey. It is about where you are and where you are headed. The road to success is not a race against others, but a personal quest for self-mastery, personal growth, and fulfillment. It is about waking up every day with a clear sense of purpose and moving forward with intention and focus, no matter the external circumstances. Your journey will not always be easy, but it will always be worth it. The more you focus on yourself, the more you become aware of the power you hold within. You have the ability to create your reality, to make choices that align with your goals, and to build a life that reflects your deepest desires. The key is to block out the noise and trust in the process, knowing that every effort, every action, and every step you take brings you closer to your true potential. In the end, success is not found in comparison. It is found in the unwavering commitment to yourself and your goals. By focusing on your own growth, embracing your unique path, and staying true to your purpose, you unlock the limitless potential that resides within you. The world may try to distract you, but you have the power to stay on course. The only person you need to be better than is the person you were yesterday. Keep your eyes on your own journey, and you will find that the path to success was always within reach.